New footage just leaked from inside Fetty Wap's prison cell, and let's just say, it's not the 1738 life he used to brag about. Cameras caught the once $1 million rapper in a moment so raw, so broken it's got fans asking, is Fetty Wap even okay anymore? From diamond chains to steel bars, from billboard charts to concrete walls, this might be the most heartbreaking fall-off in hip-hop history. But what really happened inside those prison walls? And why are guards allegedly trying to cover it up? Strap in, because this footage changes everything. They say fame changes people, but for Fetty Wap, it didn't just change him, it destroyed him. Once the golden boy of trap music, the man who gave us Trap Queen and made 1738 a lifestyle, is now reduced to a number in the federal system. But this week, a leaked clip from inside FCI Sandstone turned social media upside down. The footage allegedly shows Fetty sitting alone in his cell, staring at a wall, mumbling lyrics that fans say sound like a final message. Some call it chilling, others call it prophetic. Either way, it's bad, but how did we get here? How did Fetty Wap, the kid from Patterson who went from a diamond record to dead silence, end up looking like a ghost of himself behind bars? The answer lies in a trail of chaos that started long before those prison walls ever closed around him. Remember, this isn't the first time Fetty made headlines for all the wrong reasons. Back in 2017, cops caught him racing through Brooklyn at over 100 miles per hour while drunk. Like, bro, when you're making $100,000 a day, maybe call an Uber? That night turned into 15 charges, from reckless endangerment to DUI, but somehow, Fetty walked free. And that's when the downfall really began. Because when you beat the system once, you start thinking you're untouchable. Then came the fights, the lawsuits, the messy altercations, the Vegas security guard incident, the Hollywood Hills assault case, the countless baby mama dramas, splattered all over Instagram Live, Fetty's life started looking less like a rap dream and more like a chaotic reality show with no happy ending behind. The diamond chains and designer fits, the man was crumbling. Friends started noticing the paranoia, the anger, the isolation. One former associate, who we'll call JBO from the zoo, claimed Fetty started talking about enemies watching him and people trying to set him up. And then, of course, the feds came knocking. The 2021 drug trafficking case was the nail in the coffin. Authorities claimed Fetty was this video of a major East Coast drug ring moving kilos of cocaine, heroin, and fentanyl. It wasn't just a small-time bust, this was federal level. According to court filings, the DA had been tracking his movements for months. When they finally grabbed him, he was at Rolling Loud, smiling, performing. Clueless that his next stop would be a cold federal cell. Fans were stunned. Bro went from Trap Queen to Cell Block King overnight, one comment read. Another said, you can't outrun karma when it's doing 1,738 miles per hour. And now, with that new leaked footage, it seems the same man who once bragged about clearing $100,000 a day can barely hold a conversation. Some insiders even claim he's been placed in isolation after a mental health breakdown. But what really happened in that cell? Who leaked that footage? And why are prison officials acting like it doesn't exist? So here's where the story takes a seriously twisted turn. Right after that footage leaked, the one showing Fetty sitting in silence, rocking back and forth, rumors exploded across social media. TikTok detectives started zooming in, frame by frame, claiming they could hear him whispering something like, I can't take this no more. Others swear they saw a correctional officer rush past the camera seconds before the clip cuts out. Coincidence? Or cover-up? Because if you ask the internet, nothing is ever just a coincidence. According to a so-called insider who contacted a hip-hop blog under the alias MC_leaks247, the footage was never meant to see daylight. They claim it came from an internal surveillance feed that was accidentally backed up on a contractor's laptop, and that's how it slipped out. Supposedly, that same laptop has since gone missing. Convenient, right? And that's just the start. Word inside the prison, allegedly, is that Fetty's been having a rough time adjusting. Guards say he keeps to himself, rarely eats, and spends hours writing in a notebook. One inmate described him as a man haunted by his own lyrics. Another reportedly told reporters, "Fetty don't talk much no more. He just hums the Trap Queen line to himself like he's remembering another lifetime." Fans are heartbroken. Twitter threads are flooded with old clips of Fetty smiling, performing, giving away cash to fans. The comment sections are a mix of nostalgia and disbelief. "This is what fame does to you," one user wrote. "They build you up, then throw you away like yesterday's meme?" But of course the internet can't resist a little chaos. Some people are calling the footage fake, claiming it's deep fake CG meant to generate sympathy before his release. Others think it's a publicity stunt orchestrated by Fetty's team to build hype for a jail memoir or post-release documentary. One YouTube analyst, DJ Scopez, even went viral after claiming the prison's lighting angles in the video didn't match the actual FCI sandstone architecture. Like, bro, you're analyzing lighting fixtures in a federal cell. Relax. Still, the story's blowing up. Hashtags like #FreeFetty and #FettyFootage are trending worldwide. Fans are demanding answers from the Bureau of Prisons, who, by the way, have issued zero statements about the video. Total silence. And when the government goes quiet, people get loud. Meanwhile, hip-hop forums are buzzing with conspiracies. Was Fetty silenced for what he knew? Did he try to expose something bigger from the inside? Some say he was planning to speak on corruption in the music industry, the same system that chews up artists and spits them out when they're no longer profitable, whether it's truth or internet fiction. One thing's undeniable, this leak has reawakened the legend of Fetty Wap. But as the online fire grows, so does the pressure on the system holding him. And trust me, the fallout that's coming next is straight out of a Netflix thriller. Within just 48 hours of the footage hitting the internet, everything spiraled out of control. News outlets that hadn't mentioned Fetty Wap in years were suddenly running segments titled, "The Mysterious Footage the Feds Don't Want You to See." Commentators demanded investigations. Fans were sending petitions to the Department of Justice. Even old collaborators, people who hadn't texted him since 2018, were tweeting, "Stay strong." Bro, it was like the entire industry remembered him only when there was tragedy to click on. Meanwhile, sources close to Fetty's camp, and yes, we're talking those anonymous cousin of a friend types, claimed his lawyers were being denied access for almost a week. The Bureau of Prisons released a bland statement saying no irregularities have occurred, which is basically bureaucratic code for "we're hiding something." A few tabloids went further, reporting that 2 officers had been quietly reassigned after breaching confidentiality. Nobody could confirm it, but when paperwork starts disappearing, something's definitely up. Financially, the ripple effect was instant. Streams of Trap Queen jumped 400%, old interviews resurfaced, and bootleg Free Fetty merch started popping up faster than AI songs on TikTok. Ironically, the man trapped behind bars was once again feeding an entire economy of hype. Some journalists called it the redemption economy, how scandals turn into sympathy. And sympathy turns into sales, but beyond the algorithms, there's a darker question haunting fans. What if that footage was a cry for help? Because according to leaked medical logs shared by a supposed staff whistleblower, Fetty had requested therapy sessions multiple times but was waitlisted each time. The report even mentions an incident of emotional distress, whatever that means in prison language. If that's true, then the silence from officials isn't just negligence, it's cruelty. And now, there's talk of a congressional inquiry. A group of senators is allegedly pressing for a review of inmate mental health policies after a high-profile music figure suffered distress under federal supervision. Translation: they won't name him publicly, but we all know who they're talking about. Social activists are calling it Fettygate. Twitter's eating it up. The irony? Fetty's own music predicted this. Lines about fake love, lost money, broken trust, they all hit differently now. Fans are turning his lyrics into quotes of resistance. "They ain't never loved me anyway," one TikTok sound says over slow-motion footage from the leaked clip. The internet turned his pain into poetry, and then into profit. As pressure mounts, Even the label executives who once ghosted him are sliding statements out like apology letters. One rep said, "We pray for Willie's peace." Really? Now, you pray when the man's behind bars and the camera's caught him breaking? What happens next is anyone's guess, investigations, lawsuits, maybe even new music. But one thing's for sure, that footage wasn't just a viral moment. It was a mirror showing how the industry lifts people up, locks them down, and then cashes in on their downfall. So what do you think really happened to Fetty Wap? Was that footage a desperate cry for help or another carefully staged illusion in the never-ending circus of fame? The truth might never be clear, but one thing's certain. The man who once ruled the charts with Trap Queen is now fighting a battle no one sees. And maybe, just maybe, that says more about the world than about him. If this story shook you, if it made you rethink how fast fame can turn into a prison, hit that like button right now. Drop your thoughts below. Is Fetty Wap the victim of a system that profits from pain? Or did his own choices write this ending? Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications because this story isn't over, and the next chapter might expose something even darker.